Yes. Uh, can we start it after 5 minutes, or we'll take some time to attend it? How?
Sir, it is up to
You
you, sir.
tell.
Sir, it is fully up to
Can
you,
we
sir.
start it, or will wait? We'll wait.
Bobby, your microphone is on.
Let us start. My dear students, please see, very good evening to you all. That the purpose of this class is only to be taught Australian literature. At first, I must have to tell you that I must have to tell you the literature of the definition in general and the Australian literature in particular. Am I audible to you, my dear students? Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
you are
Hello?
Yes,
audible.
sir.
Yes. Literature is the mirror of the society, reflection of the truth, and carbon copy of our life. This is the literature in general. But the Australian literature must be taught in particular, that the reflection of the men and manners and culture of the Australian people, that is Australian literature. Before going to Australian literature, we must have to be introduced to ourselves about few words, and that is the aboriginal, and also that is the indigenous. These are two words that is native literature. Australian literature, we must have to just take it before going to. We must have to know about the kinds of literature. Literature is broadly classified into poetry, prose, drama, and novel, short story. All these are. These are also found in the subject of the Australian literature. Let us go to what is poetry. Poetry is a spontaneous overflow, that is words of a theory that you know it, and lyric, ode, sonnet, elegy, idyll, epic, ballad, satire. All these are forms of literature. Then this is all about the poetry. And next you go to the drama. Drama is broadly classified into tragedy, comedy, tragicomedy, that farce, melodrama, mask and one act play, and dramatic monologue. This is all about the drama. Then we must go to the section of the prose. So prose is consisted of the essay, novel, short story, biography, criticism. All these are the prose. And after knowing all these prose also, and this is all about, we will go to Australian literature. So literature of Australia, that is the oral tradition. Aborigines are the natives in the nations like Canada, New Zealand, USA, Australia, and all these are. These literature is something different from other literature. So Indian literature may be contrasted and compared with that Australian literature, because Australian literature consists of the oral tradition. The oral tradition definition of that Australian literature is just like the American literature, that Indian literature, Canadian literature, and also literature of German, French literature, and other literature. These are the kinds of literature. Uh, my dear students, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Uh,
sir, you are
Yes,
audible.
sir. Yes, sir.
please tell what is the difficulty. Are you understanding all these that I am telling?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. It is
Before.
understandable.
So just after getting a bird's eye view of this literature in general and Australian literature in particular, we specially the first class is meant only for the introduction to the Australian literature. Second class 19th century poetry. Third class about short fiction, and fourth class modern Australian poetry, and fifth class about verse, that is a novel, and sixth class about contemporary Australian literature, and seventh class David Mask of Remembering Babylon, that is very important work, and eighth class is Removalist, that is Australian drama. And this is all about eight section. Today I will teach you and give some notes on this Australian literature and the model question that will come for the examination point of view. Aborigines are the natives in the national like Canada, New Zealand, USA, Australia. They inhabited first. Australia is Australia is just like a country. They are being actually they are predominated by immigrants and white settlers. At first, Australian people were supposed to be living and just like the tribal people in the hilly areas, and they were taking their own sorts of culture that is like a ballad, dance ballad, and they were dancing and singing and all these things. And Australian culture is a Indian culture like that. That is just like a salad bowl. Salad bowl means just on the bowl you can get various types of culture. So America is a salad bowl. That America and that Australia is consisted of white settlers and Britishers, immigrants. They started to flow to Australia first, and they predominate over the Aborigines or the native peoples or the indigenous people. These are the two words you must have to understand it. And Australian people at first they were also living with their culture like their literature was just like epic. Their ballads, they were dancing ballads, and they were singing the songs. They were starting from one land to another land, and their journey was a kind. So the literature is consisted of the land and the people. My dear students, can you understand me?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can understand you.
You suppose India. India is a country. It is just like a amalgamated of various cultures. The Buddhist and the Christians, the Hindu, the Muslim, the Zoroastrian. All these are they have a different type of culture. Can you understand me? And that Canada is just like that. India is just like that. And America is also a salad bowl. Salad bowl means a bowl of salad consisted of a cucumber and different types of fruits. Can you understand me? So their culture is multicultural. Multiculturalism. Can you understand me? What is multiculturalism? The
Yes,
various
yes,
cultures
yes.
are there. Any question you ask? Also, at first that Aborigines were the natives of Australian people. They were living just like tribal people, singing song, dancing with music, and they were no, they have nothing else only to write about written literature. That was oral tradition. Can you understand at first? And gradually, the immigrants, the white settlers, the British people, the Asians, all they entered to Australia and they started writing. Especially English literature predominated over all the literature of the Australia, and they were writing something else like ballads, singing songs, dancing. Their culture was a different type of culture, not a single culture. Uh, I will give some sort of introduction to that. At first, you write something else about the introduction to Australian literature. My dear student, write something. Hello,
Yes, sir.
hello.
Yes, sir.
Write something else. Aborigines are the natives in the national like. You will tell me. Aborigines are natives in the nationals like Canada, New Zealand, USA, Australia. Hello, students, my
Sir,
dear
can you repeat
students.
the countries once more, sir?
Yes, sir.
Countries,
Please
yes.
slowly, sir.
At first, you write Aborigines are natives in the nationals like Canada, New Zealand, USA, Australia. Australia. Stop it. They inhabited first indigenations. This is a kind of answer that one single answer I will give you that it will imply to most of the questions. At last, at the end of the class, I will give 9 questions to you on this introduction to Australian literature. This is the paper one. Can you understand me? And these questions relates to this is the vital answer that I am giving you dictation to write something else. Aborigines are the natives in the nationals like Canada, New Zealand, USA, Australia. Stop. They inhibited first in these nations. They inhibited first in these nations. Later on, hegemony of white. Hegemony means the supremacy of the culture of the white people. Those who were outsider, they were going.
Sir,
Are
can
you
you please
confused?
repeat the second line? They inhabited.
Yeah. Let us write something else, then I will teach you. Later on, hegemony of whites snatched, snatched their freedoms, their freedom. Hegemony of the whites, hegemony means the supremacy, the entrant. They snatched their freedom for which, for which, hello,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
for which the natives of these lands suffered under colonial, under colonial, colonial
Sir, you are
awareness and racism. Again, you see, from beginning I am giving you aborigines are the natives in the national like Canada, New Zealand, USA, Australia. They inhabited first indigenous nations. Later, hegemony of whites snatched away their freedom, for which the natives of these lands suffered under colonial colonial torture and racism. Stop. Have you written
suffered the colonial torture and
racism? Racism. 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 Stop. The colonizer became the colonizer became the inhabitants in these lands and colonized are
Sir, can you please repeat the colonizers became the inhabitant and
uh, let me little bit just the colonizer became inhabitants in the in these lands and colonized are predominated colonized colonizer and colonized are predominated over them
predominated of our.
over them stop even
sir, can you
the
please repeat that line again? The colonizers become the inhabitant. I couldn't able to hear you properly, sir. That line, please
okay
repeat the last line.
the colonizer became the inhabitants in these lands and colonized are predominated over them even if the black in USA even if the black in USA are in the Senate House occupying Senate House occupying top position, but in Australia, but in Australia, the matters is different. The matter is different. In 1980, hello,
1980, 1980.
80,
Yes, sir.
1980,
Okay.
these above nations go under,
Sir, these above nations.
go under, go under,
Okay,
go
sir.
under severe financial crisis, severe financial crisis, go under severe financial crisis. Stop. The land rights of Australian
The what of
Aborigines,
Australia, sir? The what of Australia, sir?
the land right of Australian,
Land rights.
land right, the right of the land, suppose purchase and sell, the land right of Australian Aborigines is restricted laws, through laws
Sir,
are
is restricted through?
through laws, LAWS,
Yes,
laws
sir.
which are enacted in their favors, which are enacted in
Sir,
their
which are
favor,
in the
in
In their
their
favor.
favor, in their favors, still it is not properly implemented. Still, it is not properly implemented. Implemented. Hello.
Yes,
Stop.
sir.
yes, sir.
Consequent upon this culture of Aborigines, consequent upon this culture of Aborigines are possibly
Sir,
enforced
and
in
possibly
their
or possibly?
forcibly FORCE
That's
for
possible.
CI
Forcibly, sir.
forcibly forcibly taken into their land. Therefore, their culture of lands, therefore their culture of lands, their culture of lands is known as a salad bowl. Is termed as a salad bowl. Can you
Sir, what
understand
it is
me?
termed as?
Termed as a salad bowl. Capital SALAD. Salad. Bowl. BOWL. Salad bowl means various foods are kept just like in a bowl
So
when you
just
take
like
salad.
mixed of various cultures, right?
Multicultural mixture. Another paragraph. Usually Australian writers, usually Australian black writers protest their
Sir, protest there.
racism, RACISM, racism through their writings, through their writings. Australian women writers like Katha worker, KATHA, Katha is a women novelist. Katha worker,
Sir, please
WA,
spelling.
What you said after Australian woman writer?
usually Australian black writers protest their racism through their writings. Australian women writers like, can you understand me? Australian women writers like Katha worker, KATHAWALKOR, worker, Katha worker, Lisa Bellar, LISABELLEAR, Lisa Bellar, Lisa Bellar, Elik, Elik, ALI, Eli ECKERMANN, Elekerman, and other some other protest against racism or other form of racial discrimination, racism and racial discrimination through their voices. Hello, hello, my dear students. Can you audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Sir, a form of
uh,
racial discrimination. Then after that,
discrimination through their voices in writings. Just you listen to me a little bit, then we will proceed. My dear student, listen to me and pay your attention to me, then I will give dictation. Gradually, the Australian culture, which was their native culture, actually their oral tradition was there before the entrance, like the immigrants or white settlers, they started to flow into Australia. Their culture was something different. Whenever the Britishers, the white settlers, the Americans, the immigrants from other countries like Australia or like India or other people, they started flowing over Australia, the land. During this period, their culture become multicultural. That is become salad bowl. Can you understand me? This is fundamentally you should be clear that
yes,
actually
sir.
the literature of Australia is not a particular and unique. It is multicultural. It is multifaceted, different culture. Then you write, just you see in India, Indian literature is a regional literature like Odia, Bengali, Tamil, all these are. And the culture of India is multicultural. So in the same way, Indian literature can be compared and contrasted with the Australian literature. A question will come. I will give you 9 questions. Out of that, you will have only 1 to 2, and this is the particular answer that I give is synoptic gospel like the answer of the question. So let us come to write it. Most preferably, hello, hello,
Sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
most
Yes,
prefer,
sir.
most.
Now we have to write, sir.
Now you write. Then I will give you elaboration. We have 2 hours, sufficient hour. Lastly, I will give you question. Most preferably Australia and India, you write quickly. Most preferably, we have to cover all these. This is single paper, only 2 hours, not sufficient to me. Most preferably, Australia and India are under the spell of colonial experiences. Most preferably, Australia and India come under the spell of colonial experiences and
Sir, can
Sir,
you repeat
post-colonial
what,
this
sir?
line?
Come under most preferably
come
Australian
under
and
most preferably Australia and India come under the spell of colonial experience, the spell of colonial experience, SPLL, experiences and post-colonial effects, post-colonial effects so far. Stop.
Sir, can you
Post-colonial
repeat
effects
this
so
line?
far.
Sir,
Yes,
can you
yes, I
repeat
can
this
repeat.
line?
Yes, most preferably Australia and India come under the spell of colonial experiences and post-colonial effects so far. Post-colonial effects so far. Hello, my dear
yes,
student,
sir.
please
Yes, sir.
listen to me. Just to elaborate, then I will dictate. You listen to me.
Okay.
Pay your
Okay.
attention. India was coming under the post-colonial. Now we are going under the post-colonial experiences. Colonial means Britishers started coming to India. They started to sow the seeds of their culture. They wanted to make English as a strong language. as mother tongue. They tried their best. Gradually, they implemented their literature, their systems, everything else in the model of the British people. Is it not? That is the colonial. They started colonizing Indian people. So Indian, we are the colonized, they are the colonizer. Can you understand me? Australian natives or aborigines are actually they are colonized, and the white settler, those who started to enter into the land of Australia, they become the colonizer. So let us come. Most problem, right? Most problem in the British colonizer, most most probably, sorry, right? It most probably the British colonizers predominated over India, Australia, Canada, and so others, and so others. Stop. Basically, Indian literature and Australian literature, hello, most probably the British colonizers predominated over India, Australia, Canada, and so other countries or nations or their literature. Basically, Indian literature and Australian literature are interactingly interactingly correlated correlated. Both the both the nations, India and Australia hyphen India and Australia, have mutual interest in cultural and economic field.
Excuse me, sir.
Cultural and economic
Sir, both the countries like India and Australia.
are inter sorry let me Australia have a mutual India and Australia have a mutual interest in cultural interest in cultural and economic field. Hello, it is importantly seen that it is importantly seen that Australia is Australia is Australian literature. Australian literature is written by Britishers or Europeans, as well as Aborigines. Aborigines, Aborigines, Aborigines mean
Excuse me,
natives
sir.
of Australia.
Written by Britishers and Europeans. Then
European origins, as well as Aborigines. Aborigines means native of Australia. Aborigines, as well as new immigrants in this land. New immigrants in this land. Immigrants means outsider. In these lands, in the past, there was not written form of literature in Australia. In the long past, there was not written form of Australian literature. Written form of Australian literature. My dear student, please take
Sir, can you repeat
a
your
stop
last line?
that I am last line also
Last line, please, sir. Can you repeat?
last line last line. So European
In the
origins,
past,
as well
there
as
was.
in the past there was not actually the literature of Australia in a written form. In a written form. Stop. It was in oral tradition. It was in oral tradition. Stop. The oral tradition like ballads, ballads are sung by the natives, accompanied by music and dance. Accompanied by music and dance.
Sir, accompanied by
Accompanied by music and dance. Music and dance. Please stop a little bit. I will give understanding to you. Just before the entrance of the white settlers or Europeans or any other Asians or immigrants of any nations to the land of Australia, the people were not known how to write the literature. Literature was not in a concrete form. Can you understand me? And they were simply also listening, just like ballads, listening the stories, just like in India, in our Aima Kahani, just like the women will sit and sing the song or tell the story to the children. In this way, this was in a oral tradition. But actually, written form came to being while the people, that is the white settlers, means the British people, the American people, the Canadian people, Indian people, they started flowing to land of Australia, and they started giving the shape, shape just like English literature. Have you read your Dr. Foster's drama? Have you read Dr. Foster's drama? Hello, hello.
Yes,
no,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Any drama you have read? MEG, any other? Or a story? Story? Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Drama have you read? Drama. Suppose dramatic form or a novel form or a short story form, like these were not in a shape. But actually, the British people or the immigrants, outsider, they entered into the land of Australia. They started giving the shape and size to the forms of literature. Forms of literature means literature is various kinds, and that I have already told you. Prose poetry, poetry is consisted of different like lyric, ballad, sonnet, elegy. All these are, and also that is drama like tragedy, comedy. Have you read Shakespeare's any drama? Othello, King Lear, Hamlet, Macbeth. Have you read it? Hello, hello,
Yes,
dear
sir.
students. These are the dramas, and also like ballads, ballad of this Father Gilligan, Peter Gilligan, like, and all these forms were sized by the white settlers, those who they entered into land of Australia. Then you write it. Next paragraph. The English literature in India. Hello, write it. The English literature in India comes out from the British literature. Comes out from the British literature. Stop. Later, the American, Canadian, Nigerian, German,
Sir, can you
Caribbean,
repeat this
yeah,
line from the British
yes,
literature
yes,
then?
yes. The the English literature in India comes out of the British literature. Stop. Later it, later it, তারপরে, just like American, Canadian, Nigerian, German, Caribbean is a kind of literature, Caribbean, Caribbean, and French literature came into being, came into being. Stop. Most probably, colonial and post-colonial experiences form the platform of Indian literature and Australian literature.
Sir, most
Sir,
probably then.
most probably
Most
colonial.
probably, the colonial and post-colonial experiences form the platform of Australian and Indian literature. Australian and Indian literature. Listen to me. Colonial experience, what does it mean? You should understand colonial means the British people, they came to land of India, they started colonizing ourselves, they started implementing their literature, their culture, their everything else, they wanted to do it in India. So we become colonized, they are a colonizer. Can you understand me? And just like that, to the land of Australia, the people, white settlers, means that European, Asians, and Britishers, other immigrants from Canada, from Nigeria, from South Africa, all these, even if black people entered into the land of Australia, they started giving the shape and size of their own literature like. Therefore, Australian literature is not a unique literature. It is a salad bowl multicultural because different types of people, when they entered into land of Australia, they started also sowing the seeds of their own culture. But actually, particular size of Australian literature is not found in written form till 18th century last. Can you understand me? The British settler, they started going, writing, just like English literature. The Britishers came to India, they started implementing their culture like English must be the first language. It was their culture, but actually, gradually they uh, already they given the actual stand of their British culture in India. Still, we are reading English. Is it not? Right, my dear student, right? Can you write it? Write it.
Yes, sir.
Uh, can you understand up to this that I have given you dictation you, and this
Yes.
is a general question to answer, and at last I will give the question pattern, and this you will follow it at the time of answering your questions in the examination paper, and only 2 hours is not enough for us. Let us write next paragraph. Also, Australian literature is being Australian literature is being interestingly and increasingly relevant relevant with the subject of English colonizer,
Relevant
with
then.
the subject of relevant with the subject of English colonizer as Indian literature, as Indian literature. Stop. Actually, Australian literature is written by people of the Britain, Europe, and other immigrants
Sir, can you repeat
that
this
Sir,
we
can
have.
line?
you repeat? Is written
Yes,
by people of
is written by people of Britain or British, people of Britain, Europe, and other immigrants, those who enter into the land of Australia. The land of Australia. Stop. Aboriginal people. Aboriginal means the native people or the original indigenous. Aboriginal people were on the land of Australia means native people before Britishers arrived.
Sir, can you please repeat? Aboriginal people were on the land of Australia.
Australia before British or Europeans arrived.
Before British.
Europeans arrived. Stop. Then later group of immigrants. Then later a group of immigrants. Immigrants means the people of other country with the other culture. The culture is not that Australian. Write it. Later, a group of immigrants from Europe and Asia, having their own culture, entered into the country,
Sir, immigrants from European then.
entered into the country and shaped their literature and shaped their SHAP, shaped their literature. Another paragraph, you write it. Overall, comma, Australian literature in terms of land, history, people, and culture. Overall, comma, Australian literature is in terms of land, history, people, and culture are the central point.
People and
People are the central points of it. Its literary platform. Central point of its literary platform. Another paragraph you write. I am directing this attention to my dear students because this is the central point of the answer. One answer I am giving the dictation in one class and discussing it with 9 questions. You can relate this and this answer is the answer to all the questions. I think you write it. Australian literature is a large body. Australian literature is a large body Australian literature is a large body of writing which can include
large body.
large body of writings which can include early version and English translation, early
Sir, the
version
early version.
VERS, which can include early version VERSION versions
Yes.
and English translation of Aboriginal song sequences or folktales,
Sequences then, sir.
translations of Aboriginal song sequences or folktales, memories, comma, memories of Johnny and ballads of early European explorer and settler. Of early European explorer and settlers and
Can you
settlers.
repeat it again?
Again, I repeat it: the folktales, memories of the journeys, and the ballads of early European explorers, those who explore, explorer and settlers stuff.
As a settler.
Settlers. Gradually, this literature has taken its growth and
Sir, repeat
Sir,
development.
can
gradually.
repeat this?
Gradually, this literature has taken its and development, growth and development of Australia. Gradually, this literature has taken its growth and development of Australia into the country that we study now. The country that we study now. Next paragraph. The and stories, oral songs and stories of the Aboriginal people. The oral songs and stories of the Aboriginal people of Australia are passed orally.
Aboriginal people.
People of Australia are passed orally from generation to generation without being written. Stop it. Without being written. You listen to me that I am elaborating the oral songs like dance, music. Just in our tribal area, you see that the Kolo, Kandhos, and all the tribals they sing and with their mardala and dance music. There was not written form until the white settlers enter into the land of Australia. Can you understand me? Hello, my dear students. Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, that was in oral
Yes,
form,
sir.
not written form. The white settlers means the American people, other people, immigrants. Immigrants means other countries men. They
Other
entered into
countries.
land of Australia. Uh, then they started giving the shape, just like British gives the ballad form. You write it such a way. Ballad is a story poem, written in stanzas with ballad method. This is their British people. They started telling it that my dear Australian people, you write it your ballad in the such form, four lines, rhyming alternatively A B like this. That this kind of a step was even given by the Britishers, the outsider. Uh, have you
So
understood?
you mean to say that in the native Australian or the Aboriginal peoples, they just passed on their orally their songs and ballad form and all that, and Britishers when they came, they actually make the format to in a written
Format.
form.
They give the format. Yes, yes. They give the format. A format like suppose you see that ballad. Ballad means ballad is a story poem written in stanza form, just like four lines, rhyming alternatively A B. Like this kind of a form was given by the white settlers when they entered into land of Australia. Can you understand me? Beforehand,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
there was not written form of Australian literature. It was just like a oral tradition. Write it again. All these things are recorded later. All these things are recorded later. Hello. All
Yes,
these
sir.
forms are recorded later. Later for the visitors and later immigrant. Later immigrants.
Sir, can you please repeat that line? All these things are recorded later for the visitors.
For the visitors and later immigrants. Later, L-A-T-E-R, later immigrants who form their experiences in the different literary taste and twists. Literary taste and twists in the form of different taste and twists. Literary form of taste twist semane they started to give this shape. Next paragraph. Next paragraph. The ballad of the convicts and the bush song. The ballad of the convicts. Convicts means I will give you understanding later on. The ballad of the convict and the bush song bush song belong to
Yes, sir.
belong to
Sir, Miss Chavi is actually audio on and it is disturbing.
audio
Sorry, sir.
audio disturbing,
It's okay, sir. Now,
right? Okay, am I audible, my dear?
yes, sir.
Am I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Sir, could
Yes,
you
sir.
please repeat the
Right.
last line? The ballad of the
Okay. The ballad of the convicts. I will give understanding later on. Just you write the ballad of the convicts and the bush song bushsong bush song belong more to the tradition journey journey land water points water points and the culture of ancient settlers again I am repeating the ballads of the convicts and the bush song belong more to the tradition journey land water points and the culture of the ancient settlers. Stop. These are the parts of Australian literary tradition. These are the parts of Australian literary tradition. Stop it. Hello. Literary tradition. Hello.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello, Mona Lisa. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Sabi, Neha, all you are Tejas.
Yes,
Am
sir.
I audible?
Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
Yes, sir. You
Next,
are audible.
next paragraph you write. Periodical bulletin. Gradually, these literature, how it came into being. Just I am giving. Last point also, then I will discuss and write question 1 hour.
Sir, can you repeat
Periodic,
this periodical?
periodical bulletin. bulletin. Periodical bulletin started publication in 1880. 1880. Periodical bulletin.
Publication?
Periodical bulletin started publication in 1880. 1880. Hello. Periodical bulletin started publication in 1880. Storytelling, storytelling near fireside may be
Telling?
storytelling near fireside may be the first literary tradition like
Sir,
ancient people.
sir, sir, maybe storytelling, maybe then after that.
Storytelling near fireside. Fireside means sitting near the fire. Fireside may be the first literary tradition like ancient people, like ancient people. You listen to me, then we will go. You listen to me. Suppose in the past, the Indian people, those who were illiterate, even if fishermen, even if wild people, those living in the jungle site, they were going for hunting, and their hunting experience, like I killed a lion, I killed a tiger, I have collected the flesh of the tiger or flesh of the lion or skin of the lion, and I kept it in the cave of the mountain. In this way, one people who has experience of going into the wild forest, he will start it telling near sitting the fire. And suppose a fisherman has gone to the deep of the sea, he will explain how a whale came, started also approaching to him and to tackle up him. Anyway, he escaped himself from the clutches of the whale. And this is the tradition of telling story. It was in oral tradition in long past of Australia. Can you understand me? Hello,
Yes, sir.
Mona Lisa.
Yes, sir.
Mona Lisa.
Yes, sir.
This was the tradition. Then you write. Can you understand it? Can you understand? Right. Henry, Henry Lawson, Henry Lawson, Henry Lawson, Lawson, Henry
Sir,
Lawson,
loss on the spelling ଟିକେ କହିଲେ।
এটা ଜଣେ writer, it is a writer, Henry Lawson, 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 Henry Lawson and Barbara Benton, Barbara Benton, Benton, Henry Lawson and Barbara Benton were the first short story writer, who greatly contributed to the growth and development of Australian literature. Again, Henry Lawson and Barbara Benton were the first short story writers who greatly contributed to the growth and development of the Australian literature.
Sir, Australian literature after that.
Australian literature development,
Next,
growth and development of Australian literature. So, this writing gave the real formation. This writing gave the real formation of the forum of Australian literature, forum of Australian FORUM, forum of Australian literature in the written form, forum of Australian literature in the written form. Hello, hello, Neha,
yes, sir.
hello.
Yes, sir.
Again, you write the British settler started to shape
Started to
the SHAP, SHAP, shape the form of Australian literature, shaped the form of Australian literature with their language, images, rhetoric and prosody, rhetoric, rhetoric,
Sir, sir, can you please
rhet-
repeat literature with the language?
language, images, image, image, चित्रकल्प, images in Odia, rhetoric and prosody, छंद अलंकार in Odia, rhetoric and prosody in the environment of Australia with themes and forms, with themes and forms.
Sir, can you please repeat the last line? In the
Yes,
environment of
yes, yes,
Australia?
yes. Of in the environment of Australia with themes, theme, theme, themes and forms, form, forms. Hello,
Yes, sir.
hello.
Rathore in the
Sir.
Australia then. After the what are you saying?
Australia with themes and forms, themes and forms, themes and forms. Again, I am writing. The British settlers started contributing their forms of literature with their language, images, rhetoric and prosody in the environment of Australia with themes and forms. Stop. Then you go to another paragraph. Then in the first half of 20th century, write quickly, then we will write answer question. Then in the first half of 20th century, 20th century, Australia saw the genre of poetry. Australia saw SAW the genre of DGENRE genre of poetry more popular, more popular. Then in the first half century, 20th century, Australia saw the genre of the poetry more popular. In the second half of in the second half of 20th century, novel started novel started raising its voice,
Raising
raising
its
its voice. Stop. Eddie Hope, capital A dot D. Eddie Hope and Judith Wright. These are the writers. Eddie Hope, HOP, Judith, Judith, Judith Wright, WRIGHT. Eddie
sir
Hope and
Jodith story.
Judith
Can
Wright,
you sir
Judith,
Jodith?
Judith, Judith, Judith Wright, 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 are colonial figures in Australian poetry. Are colonial figures in Australian poetry.
Are colonial
They
figure?
figures in Australian poetry. Poetry. Then another paragraph. Then Patrick White, Patrick White, comma, Australia's Nobel laureate. That Patrick White got Nobel Prize for Literature.
Sir, then Patrick
Then the
White.
Patrick White, comma, Australia's Nobel laureate, Nobel Prize winner. Nobel, Nobel laureate, Laureate, Nobel laureate means Nobel Prize winner. Nobel laureate is the best known
Aus-
novelist.
sir, sir, Australia Nobel laureate. After
Nobel. Then Patrick White, comma, Australia Nobel laureate is the best known novelist. is the best known novelist. Stop. They try their best. They means Patrick White and the other Judith. They try their best to focus the culture of Australia in their British form.
Sir, best to focus. Can you please repeat?
Focus the culture of Australia in their British form. In their British form. Stop. Right. Gradually, stories, biography, autobiography begin to rise. Gradually, stories, biography, autobiography begin to rise in the Australian soil. In the Australian soil of culture in a multicultural twist, 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 twist. Gradually, stories, biography, autobiography began to rise in the Australian soil of culture in the multicultural twist. Stop. Now there are more women, aborigines, and immigrants are able to produce rich literature in Australia. Rich literature in Australia.
Sir, mm,
Now,
immigrant.
yes, yes, uh, yes, I mean, immigrants are able to produce rich literature, are able to produce rich literature in the land of Australia. Australia. Stop. Again, you write only again one more page that will be finished. Write it very quickly. Then I will discuss and a question will be written. Half an hour. Definition of Australian literature is really difficult to define. The definition of Australian literature is really difficult to define.
Literature.
Is difficult to define. We have to understand basically two terms.
We have understand.
Two terms. We have to understand the two terms. TERM terms hyphen Australian plus literature. Australian plus literature. Plus means plus sign. Cross sign. Plus sign. This is according to one of the Australian critics. This is according to one of the Australian critics. One of the Australian critics. এটা কহুଛି. They is speaking. We have to understand what is Australian.
Sir, please repeat the last line. This is
One of the version of Australian critic. Version of Australian critic. This is the version of Australian critic.
Thank you, sir.
Stop. Many critics have given different definitions. Definitions of Australian literature.
Sir, many critics have different.
have given their different definitions of Australian literature, but broadly we must understand, but broadly we must understand, or one can understand that
Understand
literature,
that.
that literature with color and flavor of Australian culture. Color and flavor of Australian culture.
Color and
Flavor, FLA, flavor of Australian culture. So please stop a little bit. I am just giving the test. Most of the Australian critics, they have given different types of definitions, but one of the most important and the leading critics of Australia literature tells that the literature with the color, flavor, taste, twist of Australian environment, that is the literature of Australia. But that was not one size literature because it has many immigrants, many settlers, many entrants. They have gone to land of Australia. They have started also beginning their own culture, own size. Britishers went and started writing ballads, sonnet, elegy, allegory, epic, and tragedy, comedy, all like it. They have given their own flavor. In this way, you will write it. When question will come that compare and contrast the Indian literature with the literature of Australia. Indian and Australian, they are same salad bowl because that is multicultural. Again, my dear students, write traditional English literature. Write it again. Traditional English literature. Hello, Sabi, are you
yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Traditional English literature. Traditional English literature has been included in Indian universities from Chaucer to Eliot.
Sir,
From
can you
Chaucer,
repeat this line?
Sir, please
yes,
repeat
yes.
it
Traditional English
Tradi-
literature.
Traditional English literature has been included in Indian universities from Chaucer to Eliot, T.S. Eliot, Eliot, Chaucer,
In
Chaucer. From Chaucer to Eliot, comma, Owens to Yeats,
Eliot.
Owen, Owen, Wilfred Owen, Janet, poet, Owen, Owen, Owen to Yeats to Owen to Yeats, and from Pound to Poe, Ezra Pound to Edgar Allan Poe. From Pound to Poe, short form.
sir, please
Again, I
repeat the
am
name. Going to
again I am Owen
Eliot,
to
then Owen Waits, sir.
no to sorry again from Chaucer to Eliot, comma
Yes, sir.
Owen to
Uh,
Yeats, Yeat,
Y,
it's W it
Y, yeah.
E
W,
A
E,
E A T, WB Yeats, WB Yeats. Can you know poet
अच्छा. No.
Yeats? Owen to Yeats, Yeat, from pound to po, Pound, Poe, from pound to po. Again, I am giving traditional English literature has been included in Indian universities from Chaucer to Eliot, from Owen to Yeats, from Pound to Poe. Means Ezra Pound, Edgar Allan Poe, W. Yeats, Wilfred Owen, T.S. Eliot. These are the poets. Stop. But Australian literature was neglected. But Australian literature Australian literature was neglected, stopped, but during 1970, 1970
Sir,
to
please repeat.
9
Australian literature was neglected.
neglected, neglected, stop there. But during 1970, 1970 to 1980, 10 years, one decade. But during 1970 to 1980, an Australian chair was formed. An Australian chair was formed in Sydney. Sydney is a place. Sidne was Sydney. Stop. Scholarly journals, literary, history, and biographies.
Sir, please can you repeat these lines again? Capolari.
Yes, yes.
Again.
Scholarly journals, Journ, journals, literary history, and biographies, bio, biographies were produced to familiarize Australian literature. Were produced to familiarize Australian literature. Stop. This is the last paragraph you write. Then I will discuss and question. The question for cultural pluralism. The question for cultural pluralism. 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 The question for cultural pluralism arises in Australia.
Sir, please repeat the
Arises in
line.
Australia.
The
The
question for
question for cultural pluralism. 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 The question for cultural pluralism arises in Australia. In Australia, like India, by the impact of British colonialism, and other immigrants from other nations, from other
Sir,
nations,
Australian. Sir, please like Australia like India by impact of British.
by the impact of British colonialism, colonialism,
And
colonialism, and and other immigrants, immigrants, immigrants means the people those who are coming to the country, immigrants from other nations. Hello, please writing.
yes,
yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
No, no. The entire Australian literature is consisted of the entire Australian literature is consisted of colonial writing, women's writing, Aboriginal writing.
The and sir,
This is
can you repeat this line?
the
The
entire
entire of
Australian literature is consisted of sorry, colonial writings, comma, women's writing, Aboriginal writing. Aboriginal means native writing. Only one paragraph you write, then question will come. The entire Australian literature is consisted of colonial writings, women's writings, Aboriginal writings. Stop. Last paragraph. These writings produce The thematic aspects of these writings produce the thematic aspect of
Produced,
hybridity. It produce the
sir, these
thematic aspect.
writings produced.
Produce the thematic, thematic, thematic aspect, thematic aspects of hybridity, 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 comma, diasporic, diasporic. These terms I will clarify you later on. Hybridity, diasporic, voices, and multiculturalism. এইটা হচ্ছে এন্টায়ার অস্ট্রেলিয়ান লিটারেচার diasporic voices and multiculturalism. You understand what is
Sir,
it?
multiculturalism, yeah, multiculturalism.
Culturalism. Stop again. These writings produce the thematic aspects of hybridity, capital HY, hybridity, diasporic voices, and multiculturalism. These terms you can understand. Then I am speaking. You please stop writing. What is hybridity? Hybridity. Suppose oranges. Oranges are produced in other areas, like your Bangladesh and other nations. These oranges can be produced in India, and the production of orange on the soil of India, and we go to the thematic aspect of hybridity. So our culture is hybrid culture. Means suppose we celebrate our birthday just like in ancient time our parents were celebrating Satyanarayan Puja and worshipping God, goddess. But nowadays you cut the cake just like English model. So our culture become hybrid culture. Diasporic. What is diasporic? Diasporic means suppose an Englishman comes to India, and that men or women cannot adjust to with the Indian culture, and always dream about the hyphenated culture, like about his own native country. The experience he or she gains from India, that experience is diasporic experience. And what is multicultural? Multicultural means various types of cultures are just like salads, fruit salad on the bowl, a plate of fruits. Various fruits is called salad, just like your brinjals, like your cucumber and lemon choice. Like this is called multicultural. Last paragraph you write, then we will go to the question. Half an hour only left. Right. Brian, hello, hello, Mona Lisa. Can you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Right. These writings produce the thematic aspect. Brian, Brin, Kiren, Brian, Kiren, are the Brian Kiren, Brian, Brian Kane, who writes an Australian literary history, who writes
Sir,
Australian, this is the person,
sir,
Brian Kane,
can who, sir?
Kieran, Brian, Brian, it is the name of a person, Kieran, Brian Karen, who writes on Australian literary history, divides the theme of literature of Australia into three sets.
Literary
This is the
history.
last paragraph.
Sir, literary history divides the theme.
The literary history divides its theme into three sets. into three sets, SETS, SETS. Number 1, 2, write it. Just symbolically you write 1, 2, first and second, climatic, environmental. Climatic, environmental factors of the people, of their culture. This is the first and second.
Sir, please
Sir,
Three
repeat
sets,
repeat again. Climatic
it
environment.
means in.
right? Characteristic, climatic, environmental factors. Environmental, climatic, and environmental factor of the people. Stop. This is the first second. And the last set, third set relates to national characters. National characters with relationship to historical and social institutions. With relation to historical and social institutions.
Sir,
This is
please
the
repeat the third one.
Relationships.
National character.
national characteristics, eh? Characteristics with relation to historical and social institutions. Historical and social institutions. Stop it. This is the final answer. And write the question model. And
Sir,
we will discuss
relationships to
this time.
historical. And last one.
Historical and social institutions. Social institutions. Stop it. Your writing is over.
Thank you. Thank you.
Social institution means marriage, celebration, birthday, your different kinds of rituals like festivals and sacred thread. This is called social institution. Marriage is one kind of social institution. Write it. Stop it. Again, write the questions. Only one answer is there. You will relate it. Question, right? Number one question. What do you mean by term Australian literature and its limitations? Half an hour is left. I will discuss the question. What do you mean by the term Australian literature? What do you mean by the term Australian literature and its scope? And its
Sir, can you repeat
scope.
this question again?
Yes. What do you mean by Australian literature and its limitation and its limitations and scope? Scope. What do you mean by the term Australian literature and its limitations and scopes? Number one. Number two, how is the Australian literature affected by the post-colonial influence? How is the
Sir, can you
Australian
repeat the second
literature?
question?
Yes. How is the Australian literature affected by post-colonial influences? How is the Australian literature affected by post-colonial influences? Third question. Third question. Again, I am also repeating. How is the Australian literature affected by post-colonial influences? Number three, right? How do history, land, and the people? How
Sir, third
do
one. What is it?
history? Third one. How
Fourth
do
question.
history? Third question I am giving you. How do history, land, and people influence the formation of Australian literature? How do history,
Land and people.
people influence the formation of Australian literature? The formation of Australian literature. How do history, land, and people influence the formation of Australian literature? That's alternative question. Or how do and legends, myths and legends, myth, myth, legend, 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 influence.
Or
How do myths and legend
Myths
influence
and legend. Sir,
legend, legend, legends influence both aborigines and white settlers, both aborigines and white settlers to form Australian literature, to form Australian literature, to
sir,
form Australian
settlers?
literature. Settlers uh,
Sir.
to form Australian literature. How do myths and legends influence both Aborigines and white settlers to form Australian literature? This is third question. And I will come to fourth. Compare and contrast Indian literature with Australian literature. Compare and contrast Indian literature with Australian literature. Australian literature. Number four. It is gone. Number five. Critically discuss Australian multiculturalism.
Italy?
Critically discuss the Australian multiculturalism. Different cultures. Number six. How can you study? Number six. Hello, Sneha,
Yes, sir.
Chabi.
Yes, sir.
Hello. How can
Yes, sir.
you?
Yes, sir.
How can you? How can you study the literature of Australia? The literature of Australia with the problems of Aboriginal language. Aboriginal language. Number six over. Number seven. Discuss the thematic stand. Thematic means theme. Thematic stand of Australian literature. The thematic stand of Australian literature. Number eight. Discuss the role of history and culture. The role of history,
Sir, discuss the
role of history and culture in Australian literature. In Australian literature. Only one answer is sufficient, my dear students. I have already given
sir.
you. You write whatever question may come.
Sir, can you
Discuss the
repeat
role
the
of history and
eight?
culture. Yes, yes. Discuss the role of history and culture in Australian literature.
Thank you, sir.
And the last question, and the last question, another one left. What do you, what do the recent developments, what do the recent developments reflect, reflect, what do the recent developments reflect the Australian literature? This is the last question, my dear students. We overcome the last question. Let me discuss. Is it not? Hello, Sabi, Neha,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Mona
sir.
Lisa,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am
Tejas.
audible.
I am discussing one by one question. I can see the question answers, and you only one answer I have given to you, that is sufficient to all questions. These similar questions. Let us discuss number one question. Are you getting tired of only out 15 minutes? Is it not?
Okay, sir.
What do you
No,
mean
sir. We
by
are
are you tired?
No, no, sir.
no, sir.
Hello?
No, no, sir.
Okay. Okay. What do you mean by the term Australian literature? You will write referring to my answer that I have given to you. Is it not? I am just discussing the vital points or the central points. Australian literature means the literature of Australia. Indian literature means the literature of India. Asian literature means the literature of Asia. The Caribbean literature means the literature of a Caribbean country. American literature means the literature of America. What is literature? Literature is the mirror of the society, carbon copy of life, man and manners of the society. This is the literature. And the mirror of the society of Australian people, their attitude, their manners, their traditions, their rituals, their all sorts of social institutions that relate to literature. Literature is not a single term, it is a broad term. Literature is broadly classified into prose, poetry, drama. Prose section is consisted of that is the short story, novel, biography, autobiography. All these are prose section and criticism. And the poetry section is the ballad, sonnet, elegy, allegory, epic. This is called poetry section. Then come to the also drama. Drama is a tragedy, comedy, tragicomedy, comic tragedy. These are the function of a drama. And this is the literature. And we study all these factors of Australia is known as the Australian literature. This is the vital point of the first question. Second question, you come. How is the Australian literature affected by the post-colonial influence? What is post-colonial? What is colonial? Means today is post-holy. Yesterday it was holy. And day before yesterday it was pre-holy. Can you understand me, Sneha? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How is the Australian literature affected by the post-colonial influence? You relate to my answer. Australian literature was not in written form till 18th century, but it was in oral tradition. The people were simply singing the ballad songs and the folk songs and the bush songs, dancing and with music on their shell, just like the tribal people do now in India. Can you see it? This was in a form of literature long before. But actually, the colonial influences means the British white settler, the American people, the British people, the Indian people, the Nigerian people, or the people of a different country means white settlers. Definitely, they went into the land of Australia and they started giving the shape of their shape and the sound to a term and a twist, glaze and glamour. With all these forms of their literature, they started to shaping Australian side. And this was the influence of colonial people. Suppose the British people. The British people went to that Australia. They started writing ballad in a ballad stanza, epic, just like the Mahabharata Ramayana is a great national song of epic, just like a drama, Shakespeare's drama. You have studied that. That is the Othello, King Lear, Hamlet, Macbeth, Marlowe's drama. That is also Dr. Foster's. Have you read any drama? Hello, my dear Sabi,
Yes,
Sneha,
Yes,
any
sir.
drama? Are you experiencing the serials? Serials? story pine, show pine, like this and that. Is it not? Also, that is a drama that is giving the picture of our society, the day-to-day affairs, the attitude of the family, the villains, the anti-villains, the heroes, the anti-heroes, the negative heroes. You are looking in a drama. So this is the size of the drama. The British people they started influencing to the colonizing to write their form. This is the second question. Third question will come. How do history, land, and people influence the formation of Australian literature? Long before the people of Australia, where the native means aborigines, means indigenous people, they were also just like leading very naked life, simply dancing, eating just boiled food and going into the forest hunting and doing this and that, and also they were dancing with music like beating drums, and this kind of people they started. The people those who went to their land again, and they started following the same, because that was the taste of the Australian people. But the people those who again went to the land of Australia, they do not have any taste. So they started, oh my dear Australian, you write the poetry in such a way, you write the drama in such a way, you write the short story in such a way. They started influencing the literature. In this Western literature was influenced. Number four, compare and contrast Indian and Australian literature. Hello, my dear students. Hello,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
are
sir.
you
Yes.
compare and contrast Indian literature with Australian literature? Our Indian literature is a salad bowl because it is multicultural. Indian literature like drama, short story, novel, biography, our different types of literature from autobiography, and all these are written in our culture with our taste and flavor. And also, Australian people they write the same in the same way. So Indian literature may be compared and contrasted with Australian literature in the form of different literary terms like drama, tragedy, comedy, our poetry, ballad, sonnet, elegy, all these things. We can compare it to the comparison of Australian people. So the literature of India is compared with the literature of Australia in various terms. They are similar, some are dissimilar, some have good taste, some have a bad taste. This is the comparison of our Indian literature. So Indian literature is giving the mirror of the society, culture of the society, and color of the society. Australian people give you also the same. In this way, you can compare Indian literature with Australian literature. Critically discuss the Australian multiculturalism. What is the multiculturalism? Culture means our tradition, manners, our different types of rituals that we celebrate, our social institution like marriage, birth, death, anniversary, and all these are relating to the culture. Culture is a big term. So multicultural means that is just like a salad bowl. This is the various cultures are our, even if it chutneyfied culture. Our culture is chutneyfied culture. You write it the term chutneyfied. Hello, students. Sabhi, Sneha,
Yes, sir.
chutneyfied. Chatnify. Chutneyfied is the verb. Our culture is chutneyfied culture because the culture of Britain people, culture of other people, American people, and the culture of Nigerian people, and we test it. Then sixth question, discuss and discriminate the problem. And the seventh question, discuss the thematic, this theme of the thematic aspect of Australian literature has been classified into different themes, like just like the land, the people, the way they live, they start their journey from one place to another. Also, their experiences for hunting in the wild forest, their experiences living in a water point, their experiences swimming in the river or crossing the canals or crossing the streams or hunting the animals. These are the theme of their literature, either in poetry or in drama or in any sorts of literary form. So theme of Australia was based upon about the land, the people, their taste, their journey, their dance, their culture, their living, their eating habit, like this. In this way, the theme of Australian literature as classified. Discuss the role of history and culture. The same question, alternative question. The role of history. History means the repetition of the past, the record of the past. History means the record of the past. Culture means it is the way of nature of the society, nature of the man and manners of the society. This is called culture. So history and culture, two prominent factors of Australian literature, and they dominate it. Hello, my dear friend, tell your experience about whether I am audible, visible, or anything else you tell. This is the last class, and this is the question, and the next 28th, is it not? Hello,
Yes, sir.
hello,
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
20.
yes,
Ask,
sir. I
ask
have a
any
request.
question.
Sir, I
Ask.
want to tell you something. Actually, after the class, sir, we want to make a group for MEG-9. So, can you provide us your mobile number so that admin we will make you admin?
Yes, yes, yes. My dear student, you see, technically I am not expert. I am a man of 72, but I feel young because of in teaching. But technical devices, this is done by my sons and my students and my also daughter and this is. But actually, you may contact with the mobile after at least 8 or 9 or early morning, and I can give you real definition, everything else, all tips to you if you want. Is it not? Hello, my
Yes, sir.
number you write 955
955
628
628
3350.
3350.
Zero. This
Thank you,
is
sir.
not my mobile, but this is your madam's mobile because my mobile is a very old one, is outdated. So I have set it. So Tapan Babu is a very gentleman, and actually he has given me the scope only to teach this literature because I find pleasure in teaching. But the thing is, technically I am not expert how to operate. Only the mobile switch green and red. I can operate it. The second class is 8th, 19th century poetry. Can you understand me? Second class. Hello, Sneha. Sneha,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Abhi. Second class,
Yes, sir.
that is the 19th century poetry. If any extra tips you want, you will ask me anytime. I will give the time early morning or after 8 or 9. I can give a dictation you. I can tell you. I can regulate you. I can help you. Ask any question. One by one, I am asking to Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. I am here.
Have you taken? Yes, you have taken the mobile number. You can ask me. But one stipulated time you
Yes.
must keep it because I cannot be disturbed. I am an old man. So, Tejas, are you audible?
Yes, sir.
Sneha, Chabi, you all.
Yes,
So
sir.
ask your experience whether I am audible to you, whether I am pleasurable or not. Ask any question.
No, no, sir. You
Hello,
are audible.
only
No, sir.
hello. Your test. Am I to your sweet test? Am I able to give in you the understanding? Can you understand me? Hello. Any problem? Hello, students. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Chabi. Mona Lisa. Tejas.
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
Sneha, you tell. Ask any question.
No, 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 sir.
Sir, that answer you gave us, that dictation, all the questions are related to that, right?
That right. Only any question will come, write the exact true copy, giving some sort of temporary your experiences. That is the right
Okay.
answer. Only one question answer is that. That is the method.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Best of the luck. I wish you goodbye. Is it not?
Okay,
Ask
sir.
Tapan Babu, and only 5 minutes are left. You ask any question. Hello,
No,
Sneha, ask a question. You understand that Australian literature is the literature of multicultural. Can you understand me? Beforehand, Australian people were quite ignorant. You have seen the match of Australia. They are cricket players. They are expert cricket players. Can you understand me? But literature development is not so enough. You see, the tribal people means those who live in wild forest. They are expert. They are gymnastic. They are very much authoritarian, and but in literature they do not have any sort of ability. But gradually, the aborigines means the natives, real natives of Australia, they were not writing any sorts of literary form in a format. But gradually, that was in oral tradition. But the people, settlers, gradually they went to land of Australia. They tried to shape themselves their own taste and twist, shape and size, color and uh, climatic change, and gradually that literature started. You ask me any question? Anybody? My dear students, tell. Ask. Can you visualize me? Am I
Uh,
visible?
no, sir, you are not
no,
visible.
no, sir, not
You are
visible.
only audible, sir.
Okay. Or how can I see
Uh,
the where I
sir,
will give the bottom?
you have
Sir,
to turn on
visible.
the
So,
camera
can,
option is there, na, sir? You just click it.
Okay, camera. Just camera means the classroom. One hand is yes, camera. Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible and
yes,
visible.
sir,
Both,
you
sir.
would be visible.
Also, it was off camera because I was not able to see you. That is a very horrible message to me because I am technically not expert. Now I am touching you. Can you understand me? Am I
Yes, sir.
visible?
Yes, sir. You are visible.
Yes, sir,
Sneha?
yes, you
Yes.
are visible, sir.
Hmm. I am visible that an old man sitting in the chair and telling you this story. Am I able to teach you? I ask you that am I able to teach you? Are you audible to me? Ask any
Yes, sir.
question. Ask.
Sir, you are
Hmm.
clearly audible and as well as now you are visible.
But last time I was not visible because I have not touched the camera key. So, my dear student, please you see next class. Perhaps tomorrow, is it not? 6, that is 19th century poetry. Before
Sir,
going
today
to
we
last
completed
class,
the first block, right?
hello,
Yes, sir. Today we completed the first block of our
first
EGNO
block.
material, right? Okay.
Yes, first block is completed.
Okay, sir.
Introduction to Australian literature is the first block. Can you
Oh, okay,
understand
sir.
me?
Yes,
Introduction to Australian literature. What is the introduction? How was Australia? How their literature was? In which condition? And how it was affected by the colonizer? How the colonized people they started to predominate over them? In this way, how the Britishers, the white settlers, the Canadian, the Nigerian, the Indian, they entered into the land of Australia. They started shaping their literature. This is all about introduction to Australian literature. This block is over, and the second class is 19th century poetry. Hello, hello, am I audible?
yes, sir.
Monalisa,
You are
Yes,
audible.
sir. Yes, sir. You are
Sir,
audible.
sir,
Yes, sir,
could you
you are
please
eh,
audible.
provide us some notes
Yes,
audible
sir,
and
regarding?
you are audible. Yes, sir, you are
visible?
audible and visible also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I wish the best of your luck. Yesterday you were playing color water, and that is the bond of our relation and love. And this is the post holy. I bless you all that you do well and think well, do well, and wish the best of your luck. Goodbye.
Sir,
Hello.
sir,
Yes.
excuse me, sir. Sir, I have a request,
Ah,
sir. After the class, could you please provide us some notes regarding this
yes,
introduction to Australian literature?
yes, yes,
It would be
I
very
can.
helpful for us, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, sir.
You tell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, I just asking you, sir, one thing that after the class, could you please provide us some notes regarding introduction to Australian literature as a PDF form?
Yes, PDF form I have to type it, give it, or
No, sir. No, sir, if possible, you can take help from
I
your
will
son.
I will ask to my son. I have already written this paper. You see, this is the paper.
Okay, sir.
And
Sir, you
I
can
can.
take a click. Yes, sir. You can take a click and send us through WhatsApp. We are making a group for MEG-9.
Okay, okay. I will. But today not possible. I will tell to my
It's okay, sir.
mm, engineer to whom I will tell. Your WhatsApp number you must give one. Is it not?
Sir, my WhatsApp number is 89.
Okay, just I am writing.
Yes, sir.
80
89.
one after another. Mona Lisa or Tejas. Who is
Uh,
telling?
Sir, I am Supriya Tejas in the ID of Tejas. Actually, I am giving my
Uh,
WhatsApp number 89
ah, 89 17
550
550
471.
471
One. Yes, sir.
336 ah, 8917550471. Oh,
Yes.
name
Name Supriya.
Supriya.
Sir, I'm
Supriya.
also want this notes.
My another you will make me
Seven
the
eight.
technique
Sir,
how I can
I
send
would
it.
give my number. My
Yeah,
seven
give
eight four eight 7848
7848
double nine
double nine
69
69
86.
86 two 7848 double nine 6986. Name
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
what is your name?
Name sorry, sir. Mona Lisa Pandey.
Oh, Mona Lisa. You are Brahmin.
Yes,
Panda.
sir. Yes, sir.
Su- Supriya. Supriya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? Ti- Title. Your title.
Supriya Gowda. Gouda.
Ah. 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 Gouda. Gouda.
Yes, sir.
Ah. Gouda. That. Ah. Again, now another who can take this?
Sir, it's me, Sneha.
Neha. Your number. You tell.
833
Eight double three
six
double three
zero six zero
eight
six.
double three 60.
Yes, sir. 606.
6. Uh, 833 606
18.
1
Yes, sir.
182
27.
7. Yes, Sneha. I have
Yes.
got only three numbers. Supriya Gowdo, Deva Gowdo. Yes, I know them. Supriya Gowdo, Mona Lisa Panda, Sneha. And I will prepare the note and I will give in the form of PDF or I will give it just writing. Is it not? Any problem? You ask
Yes.
me.
No,
I
Sir,
telephone before
sir, can you also provide me MEG 8 notes?
MIG 8. What is
MEG
the
8
course
notes.
MIG? MIG 8 you
M
tell. I am meant
MEG
for the
MEG.
9.
MEG-8
Ah,
is New
ah.
English Literature.
हाँ
New English literature. What are the topics? You tell me.
Sir, it is
Okay.
depend. It is actually in this subject that all over Caribbean literature and Canadian literature, all the literatures are history of the literature, and there are some
Oh,
like the
yes.
Solid Mandela,
Ah,
Ice Candy Man, like that. The novels are also there.
acha, acha. Just after finishing, you, my dear student, listen to me. After completion on the 8th April of the class, is it not? I will
Okay
help
sir.
you all the subject if you want. Can you understand me? After completion
Okay
of
okay
my
sir.
class,
Thank you.
other classes that Nelson Mandela is writing something, uh, and a new English pattern or any drama, MIG 1, MIG 2, Kamala Prasad Mahapatra perhaps he was teaching, is it not? Kamala Mahapatra, can you know
Sir,
him?
No
well,
sir, I am. It's my first class in MEG and I don't attend the rest of the class.
Uh, oh, my dear student, listen to me. I am meant for the Australian MEG 9. I can help any MEG. You ask me. None of it.
Okay sir.
Is it not?
Okay sir.
yes,
Yes
sir.
sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you so much sir.
Goodbye. Best of the luck.
Goodbye. Okay sir.
Goodbye.
Good
Thank you.
night, sir.
Thank you.
What
Good night sir.
what can I do now? Now in the bottom P, what can I do? You tell me. That is a red.
Touch the red button.
Sir, press the red button. End of
Red
the call.
red button.
and
Uh,
and the end
uh,
of the
Thank
message.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Goodbye. Best of the luck.
Goodbye.
Tomorrow will be. Is it not? Or
Yes, sir.
telephonic talk will be done later on. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir. Chabi, Chabi, are you there? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Chabi, hi. Could you please make a group for MEG 9 if possible? Is it okay? Hello. If it is not possible, then we can make a group. You just provide us the number.
I will send you the link tomorrow. The group has already made.
For MEG group.
Yes, all over MEGOL group.
Yes, that group is already made, but separate for the subject, there is also making some new groups.
Actually,
Is
there
that
are so many groups for each and every MEG, so I can't be able to make it. Sorry.
okay? So MEG 9, just 2 to 3 students we are here, so we can make na.
Actually, there are already 7 to 10 groups in my phone, so I will not be able to join it.
Oh, okay, okay. So no issue. Then sir has our number, so he can provide us the notes, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.